Here we go. Good morning again. It's Al. I've got another interesting interviewee. Margie. Margie lost 100 pounds.
I did.
You want to tell us about how?
Sure. I've been heavy my whole life and was known as Thunder Thighs in my childhood years. Very sad. But I struggled and have been on every diet possible. I was what we call a yo-yo dieter. I would lose some weight and then I would gain it back. And I reached a point where I went to a pharmacy to pick up medication, and the person in front of me picked up one medication and they paid over $400 for it.
Just
and I
one?
remember thinking, one medication. And I can remember thinking, oh my goodness, I was 64 at the time, and I thought in 1 year my insurance is going to change, and I was on 20 medications a day.
Oh my goodness.
And I thought if I had to pay something
just for
like
your
that,
weight?
Well, no, I had a lot of medical issues.
Issues caused by the weight.
Yes. And so I was in a lot of pain, fibromyalgia. There were days when I couldn't get out of bed, myofascial pain syndrome, irritable bowel syndrome, chronic fatigue, migraine headaches. I just suffered from many things. And so I thought I need to do something. So I thought, well, there's a gym. We just moved to Northern California. I thought there's a gym down the street. Let me join it.
Yeah.
So I joined the gym, and in the class, it was called the Healthy Heart class, where we were for older people.
Yeah.
And so I was in this class, and I was trying to lift these weights that I could barely pick up.
Oh.
And the instructor, who was a fit 71-year-old at the time, said, if you're here to lose weight, this is not the way to do it.
Right, that's true.
And I about dropped the weight and thought, well, I need to find out. She said, see me after class. Well, I was like looking at my watch, thinking how many more minutes before class is over. I ran over to her and I said, I want to lose weight. She said, oh, okay, good. There are two things you need to do. One, watch a video on Netflix called Forks Over Knives.
Mm-hmm.
And the other was to order a book on Amazon called The Starch Solution by John McDougall.
Mm-hmm.
So I did both of those things, and it opened up a whole new world to me. Like the next day, the book arrived, I began voraciously reading it, and then I thought, okay, I've got to change what I'm putting in my mouth.
Yes.
I realized the choice was mine.
Yes.
So my sister, who's developmentally disabled, lives with me, and my husband. So I was fixing a meal for them and a meal for myself. And after a month, my husband could see I was losing a lot of weight. So he said, we'll just eat the way you do. So that made it easy.
Yes.
I could just fix one meal for everybody. My sister was not very happy at the time, but she was a type 2 diabetic and had been for almost 30 years. This way of eating cured her diabetes.
That's because sometimes after a long period of time it won't.
Well,
but it did. That's fantastic.
And after a couple of years, the doctor actually said, I'm going to remove the type 2 diabetes from her record.
Fantastic.
Because then people won't be contacting you, and it was great. So the weight just continued to come off. I never have looked back.
How long ago was that?
That was almost 10 years ago.
Wow.
9.5. It'll be 10 years at the beginning.
Did you start roughly the same time as Esther?
She actually came
after you?
me,
okay.
and I remember her coming in the gym. I had probably maybe 6 months after I had started, and she was at the gym, and I remember she couldn't get down.
Yeah.
She was pretty heavy, and so she listened to my story and said, I think I want to try this. I don't know if I can do it, she said, but I'm going to try.
And you've been on the cover. You're a cover girl. This is a cover girl of what?
Twice. Once for Woman's World.
What's the name of the magazine?
Woman's World.
Woman's World. That's it. Yeah, and twice.
They had a Heal Your Gut issue, and so that was out for 4 months, and so I was on the cover.
Fantastic.
So yeah, it was kind of fun. Some of my grandchildren on the East Coast were
in
the store and went, that's my Nana.
And that's a full 100 pound, right?
Well, it's actually been over that. I started at 240. Right now I'm about 128.
Okay.
So,
and how tall are you?
I'm almost 5. Well, I used to be 5'9".
I know.
5'8".
5'8".
Yes.
Yeah, I've lost an inch too.
Yeah.
So, what benefits have you received? Well, a lot of them.
A ton. I went off. I only take a couple of medications now. I had to have my thyroid removed at one point, so
Yeah.
I take thyroid medication. And I had an issue with my heart. Developed a flutter at one point.
Atrial flutter?
Yes.
I had that.
Yes. And
Yes.
so, the doctor had to go in and have the procedure where they stop your heart and start it up again.
Yeah.
Haven't had any
They
trouble since
reset
then.
it. Yeah, I've had
Right.
that. Yeah.
So I asked Dr. Mosquita in the hallway at one point, and I said, well, why, I'm trying to eat the right way, why is my heart having trouble? And he said, well, how many years were you
That's
eating
right.
a standard
Yeah.
American diet?
Yeah.
I said 64. He said, well,
There's your answer.
there's your answer.
Yeah, 80
Yeah.
for me. Yeah.
So we're still trying to do the right thing now.
That's right. It takes a while. It doesn't happen right away.
Right, for sure.
Have you ever been tempted to fall off the wagon?
No.
Good answer.
I think I have not, because it so dramatically affected me.
Yes.
And
100 pounds worth.
right, exactly. And I don't think anyone would give me that Thunder
Yeah.
Thighs nickname now, so I'm grateful.
If you had to give a suggestion to someone that's thinking about, maybe they're just a little overweight, or they're just thinking about the diet, they haven't really fully committed yet, what advice would you give them?
I would say it's all about choice, but you have the choice on what you put in your body.
Yes.
Your body, if you realize that it's a sacred obligation to take care of your body.
Yeah.
And I think we only have one body.
Yeah.
And so it's important. How you care for it will determine your next move, your next moment.
Yeah.
The most important moment of your life is this next moment.
Right.
And if you can understand that you're worth it to get on track.
You're
to
worth
get
it. That's a
healthy.
good phrase. Yes.
So I would encourage you to make the effort to at least try. I think eating plant-based has been the most remarkable change in my life. I wish that I had come across it 40
I
years
know.
ago.
Yes. Yeah. I do too.
But I'm grateful at any point along the way that I'm on track. And I see something, particularly during the holidays now.
Yeah.
I saw lots of desserts and
here
rolls
at
and breads
AJ's.
and
Yeah. Yes.
there's a lot of good things out
Oh
there.
yes.
But I come in my mind and I think, I remember what it tastes like, and I do not need to hurt my body
Right.
by partaking in things.
Well,
that
I used to say, I lost 40 pounds, hardly anything, but I used to say nothing tastes as good as thin feels.
exactly.
You know, so,
Exactly.
yeah, and you can use that on anything, yeah.
That is true.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate it very much.
I've really enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.
Happy New Year.
Oh, Happy New Year, yes.